Good morning, I'm Kaylee Olson. I'm the Deputy Editor of Briefing, and welcome to the next in our webinar series for Briefing 5P in the run-up to our main virtual event this year on the 9th and 10th of November. Today's P is profitability. We're exploring beyond the hype, determining the right tech platform to drive law firm profitability. We've got a great group of speakers for you this morning across legal, tech, and client side. And I want to say a big thank you, of course, to our sponsor for today's webcast, sa.global. We have Group CEO and founder Stephen James joining us. Before I pass it over to him to kick us off this morning, just a bit of housekeeping. Recording will be published after this event, should you wish to rewatch or send around to your colleagues. And please do engage and make the most of our panel today. Ask questions in either the chat or the Q&A sections, and I'll be sure to ask the panel during our Q&A section after this. So, all right, Stephen, without further ado, why don't you kick us off this morning?
Thanks very much, Kaylee. So first of all, I've been doing this for a long time. This is 30 years of sa.global. They say that you get less than that for murder in most jurisdictions. But I think that it's interesting that we're talking today about platforms and profitability, because I feel like there's really a paradigm shift in the industry now, away from thinking about information technology in terms of efficiency and operational improvement, the kind of build a better mousetrap mentality, towards how can we leverage the technology towards competitive advantage, towards strategic advantage. And if we look at the pace at which the tools are evolving, it's absolutely incredible. I feel as though if we in the technology industry are struggling to keep up with the pace of technology change, that it's incredibly hard for those of you who are not immersed in this every single day to keep up with this. So it's a great opportunity from my point of view to talk a little bit about what I feel the paradigm shift is, and to think about not so much how technology drives efficiency, but how the right platform can really enable strategic advantage and enhanced profitability. So with that in mind, just framing it, I'd like to pass over to Craig Bird, who's going to talk a little bit about the Microsoft platform.
Thank you so much, Stephen. If you could close your video now and mute, we'll have Craig. Hello, Craig.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, everybody. My name is Craig Bird. I am a business applications specialist at Microsoft. I am aligned to the professional services sector. And specifically for me, that means our enterprise legal customers. So I spend an awful lot of time with some of the large legal customers. Focus on all things Dynamics 365, which for us is our Microsoft first-party applications. Think business development, marketing, service, etc. But also our Power Platform solutions, which is our latest innovation around platform. This is a real hot topic for us in legal, and allows our customers and indeed our partner organisations to build agile line of business applications. Importantly, automate processes over existing technology, and ultimately drive insight from that data. So I've worked in, not quite as long as Steve, but in IT and software for 15 years. In that time, I've covered kind of a whole range, really. So from training, pre-sales, technical sales, solution design, project management, implementation. So really had the opportunity to kind of experience a true end-to-end of, some of the in-depth technical elements of solution architecture, but also the impact on users. And I think the impact and rollout on users and how they consume that technology is kind of key. And when we look at innovation. So yeah, really pleased to be here this morning, share some thoughts on current trends, conversations we're having at Microsoft. I guess in line with the agenda today, how can innovation in technology help firms increase, I think, importantly, client experience, but also in turn profitability. And I guess, whilst I've called out I work for Microsoft, one of the largest global tech providers, I'll start by saying, forget technology for a moment. I think for today, some of the areas that will contribute in more outcome driven. So, some of the things that we'll hopefully be talking about are how can we unlock the data that we have already, maybe at the firm, to drive insight? And equally, what can that data tell us about our clients that we didn't already know? And how can we use that insight to then drive a next best action? I think for me, top of mind is all about, rather than seeing legal technology as just a collection of systems of record, which I think it has been for a long time, that enable us to do the day job. How can we kind of flip that so we're talking about a platform and a system of intelligence that kind of really adds value to the firm? So yeah, again, pleased to be here and look forward to the conversation this morning. I think I'm passing over to Mike.
Yeah, I'll bring up Mike. Mike is the finance director at Fieldfisher. Thanks for joining us today, Mike.
Good morning, everybody. Good to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm finance director at Fieldfisher. I've been there for 8 years, but spent my entire career working in professional services organizations, the last 20 years in legal. I think legal, obviously historically, has been a very, very profitable line of business. And law firms are now finding increased competition, and particularly the impact of the COVID downturn, having quite a significant impact on business. Perhaps not quite as extreme as some had feared back in March, but nonetheless looking for better decision-making processes, looking for data-driven decision-making. And I think that certainly with the guys here today, looking forward to the conversations around platform, we happen to use a Microsoft platform and are finding it incredibly helpful for surfacing data. But this is really about how we drive profitability, I think, within the businesses. And it's absolutely key in my mind to have up-to-date and reliable data in order to make those decisions.
Thanks so much, Mike. And we'll see you again during the Q&A section. If you could log off, and we'll get Layla Aslam, the General Counsel and Company Secretary at Waterstones. Layla, thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, everyone.